Hey guys, Kevin Grail here with Alien Rides. Got a little bit of a treat here for you behind me. This is an electric motorcycle conversion. Started its life as a 2019 KTM and ended up as a 2019 electric motocross bike. So this is the second one I have done. Gets easier along the way. Let's talk about the power plant. Now, most people are using a brand called QS Motors. The same QS that makes the motors for the electric unicycles, the same QS that makes the electric motors for the bigger electric motorcycles, some of the like Sondors. So, pretty established brand, dirt cheap. These will peak at 35 kilowatts supposedly. I haven't been able to push more than 28. I think people are kind of stretching what they do. Now 28 kilowatts times 750 is almost 40 horsepower. Let's just pretend it's 35 horsepower. Let's just say that's for short peak times. If you're pushing 35 horsepower out of this baby, she's going to heat up. So let's call her 25 to 29 horsepower motor. Cool. So this thing has a built-in gear reduction. So over on this side, the actual center of the motor is right here. Then it's reduced, I believe, 3 to 1 inside. And I'm using a 428 chain. This is what the kids on the 85s use. And the one main reason is I'm a little cheap. Plus, we're not pushing the horsepower that larger bikes do. So a smaller 428 chain gets you a quieter drivetrain. You get to use the OEM drive shaft and splined front sprockets it comes with. But you do, however, have to use custom cut gears. So Rebel Gears will turn around these in about 2 days. I just ordered another one for 63 tooth. Is that what I ordered? Yeah, I believe I ordered 63 tooth. And it'll be here in 4 days. Whoop-de-whoop, no biggie. So that's your motor. Now the motor needs to be powered by a battery, but you can't send battery power straight to a motor. You need an inverter of sorts. We call these speed controls. Now the speed control lies here under the airbox. I'm just going to pull that off right here. And I'm powering this by a 3-shoal CL700. I don't have the little booties for these yet. My apologies. And there's also a little Bluetooth Wi-Fi / logging chip up here. It's an ESP32 module. There's going to be some future unlocked benefits from that. But for now, this is just very basic. I have hooked up a regenerative brake throttle so I can get free charging while decelerating. And then I have a regular traditional throttle. So let's try the regen. There we go. Turn that off. Don't want my fingers getting caught in there. The only real bummer is about electric bike. Well, there aren't really any. So the biggest safety factor here with an electric bike is you don't get to know if it's armed and alive and possibly going to hurt you. So what you have to learn to do, which I forget all the time, is to put it in park mode or turn it off. I have an off mode. You can have a second button for park. It's a kill switch. So keep an eye out when you do that. Someone might just go, oh, this is cool. Spin the throttle, it'll fly out. All the torque all at once. No discrimination. So let's talk about the battery. I have 2 here. This one I built 20 series originally, and then I added up and turned it into 28 series once this fantastic controller company came out. This is 3-shoal out of India. At the moment, they're doing the largest and most cost-effective speed controls out there, and most importantly, they are high voltage, which means I can spin this faster, gear the back for torque, and not have to make up for it with some voodoo in here called field weakening that ends up heating up the motor to get extra speed. So I add more voltage, that gets turned into conversion, goes to here, spins here. I get more wheelies and less heat. So thank you 3-shoal for building 30 and now 40 series. We're talking almost 200 volt speed controls. So this battery is made out of moly cells. Each one of these cells, there's 7 in parallel, can do 30 to 40 amps. 30 in series gets you 126. 30 times 4.2, 30 times 3.5, 3.6 is 108. 7 parallel means how many amps you can actually do and how many watt hours. Some people call it amp hours. So this one's a little bit different. This is 28 series, 13 parallel. But look at this. Where's my watt hour? Shit, I didn't put it on here. Anyways, this has a shit ton of watt hours. By pound, this is 50 pounds. This is 35 pounds. This is going to go a whole lot further because it weighs 20 more pounds. It all comes down to how much your battery pack weighs, not what it says on the outside and all that. The more weight, the more you're going to go, as long as you're not using shitty cells. Up here I have a domino pot throttle. Real simple wiring harness. That is it. I have throttle, I have regen, and I have arm. Throttle, regen, arm. Let's go ahead and connect. Real-time data, here we go. So I'll do a quick walkthrough. Nothing else. I mean, look, it's a KTM motocross bike. Everything is going to be almost identical. If I want to, I have space up here for a lever for a rear brake. Now, I may or may not do that. It's not hard to do. You just need a banjo bolt, a hose, and a master cylinder. So, in addition to that, we have a bunch of free space up here. I literally can fit my arm all the way through. A bunch of wasted space. So if I want to put extra batteries up there, I want to make a little pack to carry water, tools, stuff from my voyage, guns, children, whatever, you name it. You got all this extra space up here. There's all this empty space in the gas tank. What I don't want to do is have batteries so much up here. I want to centralize the mass in the center. It just makes things work better. Even having this weight up front is kind of bugging me. I would like to be able to build a pack in a triangle, but look, I'm lazy. It takes more time. So that's it. This is me, KTM. And here's the bike I never ride anymore. This has been through quite a few races, Supercross 2 times. I don't really race much anymore, but on amateur day I'll go ahead and confuse people with my license plate and end up at races and amateur Supercross. Like, that's how much I ride this thing now. So, goodbye. I think I'll pull the Ohlins off of here, put it on that bike over there, and call it a day. This is that little KTM free ride, China ride. Build quality on this, pretty decent. Comes with turn signals. I'm working with the DMV on getting plates for those, or at least file the paperwork to get plates for customers. And we'll most likely be importing those as well. Waiting on one more brand to do an A-B comparison. Sorry, 2 more brands to do A-B-C comparison. And we'll see how it fares against this. But obviously nothing's going to compare to a full-size motocross bike. And that's what this is. So, signing off here. Actually, no, while we're here, let's talk about another little fun project using a vesc. This one also is a 3-spool. So this is using the same thing, CL700. Swapped out the little anemic motor in here that used to be 1,000 watt for a QS138 V2. And now this thing will pull 30,000 watts, aka 40 horsepower. Before, barely went 30 miles an hour. Now it should go 60, 62, 65, depending on the gearing. Because these dashes don't communicate with these speed controllers, we went up and threw a little Dave Guts, basically a little Raspberry Pi on crack. Lets you see all the fun stuff. This motor I haven't tuned yet, so don't make fun of me, but that's what we got going on in this little guy. So she should be really fast and really fun. Customer wanted this project, said just throw money at it. We did, and it's been really fun. What do we build here for a battery? 30 Series 7P. Oh, I remember this. So there you go. Pretty much the same battery that's in my motocross bike is right here as well. He's going to have a built-in charger that he can keep in here.